everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be telling about the resources that I had used for NEET PG. So for two reasons I'm making this video. First is I'm getting many queries what are the resources that I had used for NEET PG. Second is I personally faced this issue during the start of my NEET PG preparation. So I was totally confused hopping between the apps, and I started my preparation with anesthesia main videos. So you can only imagine how clueless I was. So before jumping into the resources that are used for NEET PG, I would want you to keep in your mind some basic points. Like, you should have a single base for us for your subjects. Like, you should always have single base in the sense you should have single book for one subject. For anatomy, you should have one subject wherein you can always go and add stuff to that. Okay. Second thing is trusting your sources. So it might sound silly, but it's actually important for you to trust your source. So build that confidence, have that confidence in you. And third thing is you should be having such set of notes where you would be or you will be able to revise it in the last 10 to 15 days. So this is what you I want you to keep in mind before starting your NEET PG preparation. Coming to the resources, first one is about anatomy. For neuroanatomy, I had watched main videos from Dr. Ashwani sir's uh, uh, platform. So neuroanatomy, I watch main videos because I think in neuroanatomy it's they usually do check your concepts, so it's worth watching neuroanatomy from main videos. For rest of the systems, you can just watch. I had used marrow notes, which were more than enough. For physiology, again I had like my main source was in the revision notes. To that I had added some of the weak points. For example, my V by Q graph was pretty weak, so I had watched it from main videos and I added some I added the points of V by Q graph into the revision notes. So you can do it in that manner. Third one, for biochemistry, I wish I had known about this earlier. Biochemistry from Prep Ladder, Dr. Shanguna Priya. I mean, ma'am has really simplified the biochemistry. She has made it conceptually very easy to understand. So what I did for biochemistry was it took me around 7 to 10 days to concise the biochemistry notes. What I did, I watched it from main videos. Okay, and I added, like, I'll just show it here. For example, I'm watching a heme synthesis video from me. So I'll just write down the cycle here, and side by side I'll write the clinically relevant points. So I had made like this around 10 to 15 pages of all the important stuff for NEET PG. Like, this is about glycolipids and the relevant clinical points. So I had made about 10 to 15 pages like this. I sticked it to all, and in the last few days before NEET PG, I referred it, and it was more than enough for biochemistry, because it's very highly volatile stuff. So it's good if you make such A4 size pages and stick it to all. Just go through it before NEET PG. That will be really helpful. Now coming to second year subjects, pharmacology, hands down, I just fell in love with Dr. Ranjan sir's video from Marrow edition 8, because in that edition I made handwritten notes for pharmacology. In that edition 8, sir has said what has to be added and what is to be not added for NEET PG preparation. So in that manner I was able to concise even the main notes for pharmacology. And for micro and path, I think everybody knows that Dr. Preeti Sharma, she is like gold standard for micro and pathology. I used the revision notes for micro and path, and to add some additional stuff, I watched BTR Robbins wala video. For forensic medicine, I just used BTR. So what I did was I used BTR as my main source, and to that I added all the important stuff from the marrow pearls or marrow Q banks. For example, Bartlett baby syndrome is really important for the NEET PG, right? So I added this point. I just pasted this point from marrow RR. So in that manner I had annotated my forensic medicine. And third year subjects for opthal and ENT, marrow RR notes are more than enough. PSM, because you'll get around 15 on average 15 questions from PSM, right? So what I did, I had marrow RR notes as my main base, but before that I had watched from main videos. I've completed all the main videos of PSM, and what are the important stuff that which were missing in marrow RR notes from main notes, that I had added it to the marrow RR notes. So that's how I was able to concise PSM without missing the important points. For fourth year subjects, medicine, uh, I mean, I followed so many platforms before this, but ultimately what helped me was I watched integrated medicine BTR videos, and after every system I solved marrow QBank, that system wise. I have solved marrow QBank, and the relevant stuff which were missing in integrated medicine, I added it to my PDF. For example, after watching GI, integrated GI, I solved GI QBank from marrow, and there were many points which were missing from the like maltoma, and such stuff. Surgery, for surgery I used marrow main notes which were handwritten by me, because my surgery is pretty weak, so I was able to concise it to around 1.5 king size notebook, because I just added the relevant stuff from the videos as well. OBGYN, if your foundation is strong enough, or even if you know the basic stuff about OBGYN, marrow RR notes are more than enough. You need not have to watch all the, or need not use the main notes for OBGYN. So ma'am has covered it all in the marrow RR notes. And for ortho, again marrow RR notes are enough. For dermat, marrow RR notes, I have used marrow RR notes. Psych and anesthesia, just like how I had annotated forensic medicine, same in the same manner I annotated BTR was my main source. Into that I had added the additional points for psych and anesthesia. Beats, you can use marrow arrow notes, which are like you have everything in one place, but I had used Dan's crisp concise notes for beats, but marrow arrow notes are equally good. And for radiology, what I did was I used to solve daily one system wise radiology questions from Marrow Bank. And for example, and I used to make notes from the Bank. For example, I made a PDF like this, where the important stuff like Parkinson's, hot grass one, and CP angle tumors, I made a PDF from the Marrow Bank. And for basics of CTMRA, you can always watch it from videos to clear your concepts. I hope this video was helpful. In the last, I would like to say one thing, that one liner rule for NEET PG is choose your resources and you have to stick to them. You know, this was my subjective opinion. You can always choose the better or whatever you're comfortable with. In the last, I always went through these notes only, and that helped me to you know avoid the confusion of juggling between the resources. So that's it. Thank you.